In 1947, a body was found in Los Angeles, severed, drained of blood and left in a terrifying display. She was Elizabeth Short, but the world knows her as the Black Dahlia. Welcome to Enigma Uncharted, where today we dive into one of history's most chilling unsolved mysteries. Written by James Ellroy, the author of The Black Dahlia. Ellroy's works often delve into the dark, gritty underbelly of Los Angeles, painting a vivid picture of a city where glamour and grime coexist. Los Angeles, 1947. A city shimmering with the allure of Hollywood. The bright lights of the movie studios and the glitz of the red carpet events drew people from all over the country, each one hoping to catch a glimpse of stardom. A place where dreams were made and hopes were dashed upon the rocks of ambition. The streets were filled with aspiring actors, directors and writers, all chasing the elusive promise of fame and fortune. Beneath the glittering facade, a darkness lurked. The city was a magnet not only for dreamers, but also for those with more sinister intentions. Crime and corruption festered in the shadows, hidden from the bright lights of Hollywood. A palpable sense of unease permeated the air. The tension was almost tangible, as if the city itself was holding its breath, waiting for something to happen. The City of Angels had a sinister underbelly, a place where vice and violence whispered in the shadows. Bars and clubs were frequented by shady characters, deals were made in back alleys, and the police were often just as corrupt as the criminals they were supposed to catch. The war was over, but its scars remained. Los Angeles, like many cities, was struggling to adjust to the post-war reality. The influx of returning soldiers added to the city's already growing population, creating a sense of overcrowding and tension. Returning soldiers grappled with unseen wounds. Many of them carried the psychological scars of battle, struggling with what we now know as PTSD. The city's hospitals and mental health facilities were overwhelmed, unable to provide the care that was desperately needed. A wave of social unrest washed over the nation. The post-war period was marked by a series of labor strikes and civil rights protests, as people demanded better working conditions and equal rights. Los Angeles was no exception, and the city's streets often became the battleground for these struggles. The post-war boom was in full swing, but prosperity was not shared by all. While some enjoyed the benefits of economic growth, others were left behind. The gap between the rich and the poor widened, creating a fertile ground for crime and corruption. In the undercurrents of this tumultuous time, a nightmare was brewing, one that would soon grip the city in terror. The Black Dahlia murder would become a symbol of the darkness that lurked beneath the surface of the City of Angels, a reminder that even in a place of dreams, nightmares can come true. A chill wind swept across the vacant lot on Norton Avenue. The air was thick with an eerie silence, as if the world itself was holding its breath. The morning of January 15th, 1947, dawned like any other, with the first light of day casting long shadows over the quiet streets. But fate had other plans, and the city of Los Angeles was about to be shaken to its core. It was a day destined to be etched in the annals of Los Angeles history. A day that would forever change the way the city saw itself and its inhabitants. Betty Bersinger, a local resident, strolled with her young daughter, enjoying what seemed to be a peaceful morning. The sun was just beginning to rise, casting a warm glow on the mother and child as they walked hand in hand. Little did they know, they were about to stumble upon a scene of unimaginable horror. As they walked, Betty noticed something unusual in the grass. Her heart began to race as she approached the object, her mind struggling to comprehend what she was seeing. There, amidst the weeds and discarded debris, lay the body of a young woman. The sight was both shocking and surreal, a stark contrast to the serene morning they had been enjoying just moments before. Her naked form was grotesquely contorted, severed at the waist. The brutality of the scene was almost too much to bear, a testament to the unimaginable cruelty that had been inflicted upon her. Her porcelain skin, once vibrant with life, was now drained of all color, leaving behind an eerie pallor. The lifeless body seemed almost otherworldly, a haunting reminder of the fragility of life. The woman's lips were sliced into a ghastly grin, a chilling rictus carved into her face. This macabre detail added an even more sinister layer to the already horrifying scene, a cruel mockery of the life that had been so violently taken from her. This was no ordinary murder. It was a spectacle of depravity that sent shockwaves through the city. The news spread like wildfire, and soon the entire city was gripped by fear and fascination. The gruesome discovery on Norton Avenue would become one of the most infamous cases in Los Angeles history, a dark chapter that would haunt the city for years to come. The victim was quickly identified as 22-year-old Elizabeth Short. She was a young woman whose life was tragically cut short, leaving behind a legacy shrouded in mystery and intrigue. The press, sensing a sensational story, dubbed her the Black Dahlia, a name that would become synonymous with one of the most infamous unsolved murders in American history. This moniker would forever link her to the gruesome nature of her death, overshadowing the person she was in life. But Elizabeth Short was more than just a headline, more than a victim. She was a daughter, a friend, and a dreamer. She was a young woman with dreams of stardom, drawn to the glittering lights of Hollywood like a moth to a flame. Hollywood, with its promise of fame and fortune, was a beacon for many young hopefuls like Elizabeth. She had come to Los Angeles from Medford, Massachusetts, yearning for a life beyond the mundane. The bustling city of Los Angeles represented a fresh start, a place where she could reinvent herself and chase her dreams. She possessed a captivating beauty, with her dark hair, piercing blue eyes, and a smile that could light up a room. Her striking appearance made her stand out, and she quickly became a familiar face in the Hollywood scene. Like so many before her, she hoped to find fame and fortune in the cutthroat world of show business. She attended casting calls and auditions, always hoping that her big break was just around the corner. But tragedy had shadowed Elizabeth's life. Her father's suicide during her youth left an indelible mark on her, shaping her into a resilient yet vulnerable young woman. Her father's death was a devastating blow, one that she carried with her throughout her life. Despite the hardships, Elizabeth remained hopeful, determined to make something of herself in a world that often seemed against her. Elizabeth's story is a poignant reminder of the dreams and aspirations that drive so many to Hollywood, and the harsh realities that often await them. Her life, though tragically short, was filled with hope, ambition, and a desire to be more than just another face in the crowd. In remembering Elizabeth Short, we honor not just the victim of a heinous crime, but the young woman who dared to dream big in a world that can be unforgiving. Her legacy is a testament to the enduring human spirit and the dreams that live on even in the face of unimaginable tragedy. The details of Elizabeth Short's murder were as shocking as they were baffling. Her body had been meticulously posed, almost ritualistically. The brutality inflicted upon her was beyond comprehension. The killer had bisected her torso with surgical precision. Her internal organs had been removed and rearranged. The wounds on her body bore the hallmarks of someone with anatomical knowledge, perhaps even a medical professional. The killer had drained all the blood from Elizabeth's body, leaving her skin a ghostly white. The absence of blood at the crime scene suggested that the murder had taken place elsewhere, and her body was carefully transported to the vacant lot. The meticulous nature of the crime, the horrific mutilation, pointed towards a killer who was not only ruthless, but also methodical and cunning. The Black Dahlia murder sent a chill down the spine of Los Angeles. Fear gripped the city as the realization dawned that a monster walked among them. The LAPD launched a massive investigation, determined to bring Elizabeth Short's killer to justice. Detectives worked tirelessly, following every lead, every whisper, every rumor that snaked through the city's underbelly. The press had a field day, churning out sensationalized headlines that captivated and terrified the public in equal measure. The investigation dragged on for months, but the killer seemed to have vanished into thin air. Dead ends multiplied. False confessions poured in, muddying the waters further. The lack of concrete evidence, the sheer brutality of the crime, and the media frenzy surrounding the case created a maelstrom of speculation and confusion. The once bright flame of hope for justice began to flicker and fade. Over the years, the Black Dahlia case has become synonymous with unsolved Hollywood crime. The investigation, plagued by missteps and false leads, failed to bring Elizabeth Short's killer to justice. Hundreds of suspects were interrogated, their lives turned upside down as they were scrutinized under the harsh glare of suspicion. Some were innocent victims of circumstance, while others harbored dark secrets that fueled the public's imagination. Theories abounded, ranging from jilted lovers to spurned Hollywood hopefuls, each more outlandish than the last. Rumors of a sinister cult operating within the city's elite added a layer of intrigue and horror to the case. Yet, despite the relentless efforts of law enforcement and amateur sleuths alike, the identity of the killer remained elusive, a phantom that haunted the dreams of Los Angeles. If you liked this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share to Enigma Uncharted.